Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay. But take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin, then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. There is no second best.
There is no second best GM to the crypto bulls out there, or primarily the Bitcoin bulls. We're going to check in here with some weekend price action, see what's been going on across the ecosystem, Arbitrum airdrop, big things to talk about on that front, and things to look forward to over the next few days/week. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Starting here on the monthly time frame for BTC, it has traded so cleanly on the monthly, and I just wanted to point out that the next actual resistance on a monthly time frame is all the way up at $34,000, which is quite crazy to say, just considering we were at 19,800 last Friday/Saturday. I can't exactly remember. It's all a blur at this point. But Bitcoin trading now north of 27,000 bucks. Of course, there is resistance at around 28,000. I'll show you on the weekly, but as you can see on the monthly, there's not a lot of, actual resistance in the way, just a few wicks. But if you go to the weekly, we'll just zoom this out a little bit, clean this up somewhat. And there is this kind of cluster here in the kind of 28 to 30K region is the next point of resistance on a weekly chart. And Bitcoin is fast approaching that at this moment in time. Then even crazily, let's just show you this. We had a bit of a sell-off, a miniature nuke there, all the way down to 26,700, and it's been immediately bought straight back up. I think there's a lot of people getting very overzealous in the market, a lot of longs entering quite late after this rally, and they are likely to be liquidated. I'm sure if I check out CoinGlass right about now, over the last hour, quite a lot of longs would have got absolutely rinsed by the market makers there. But let's talk about the $1 million Bitcoin price tag. This coming from Balaji here. And this has been doing the rounds massively on social media. So hats off to this guy, because this for me is just 100% a marketing stunt. I think he's a billionaire, probably owns many thousands of Bitcoins. And so this bet, either way you look at it, is quite hilarious. It's going to get loads of traction. And if it does play out, so say people call his bluff and they start buying up Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up, well, he's going to make loads of money anyway. So for TLDR on this one, James Medlock tweeted, "I'll bet anyone $1 million that the US does not enter hyperinflation." People getting concerned around this now due to the fact we're seeing some easing of conditions and an expanding Fed balance sheet here. So Balaji posted this: "I will take that bet. You buy 1 Bitcoin and I will send you $1 million. This is a 40 to 1 odds, as 1 Bitcoin is worth around 27,000, but the term is 90 days. All we need is a mutually agreed custodian who will still be there to settle this in the event of digital dollar devaluation. If someone knows how to do this, blah, 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 blah." So what he's betting is that in 90 days, Bitcoin will be at $1 million. And off the back of this crazy statement, there's just been tons of traction. So this got 7.8 million views, thousands of retweets, and I've even found forum posts where people are losing their shit over this. Just how out of touch is this guy? 50% inflation month over month within the next 90 days. Does he not understand that multiple system shocks that would need to take place for that even to come close to reality? Balaji, please get out of your bubble. So funny to see how people lose their minds when someone posts something obviously very over exuberant and they obviously think that he's being serious here. You need a confluence of black swan events, this guy posts. Well, whilst I don't believe that is out of the question, with all the shenanigans we've seen as of the last week alone, obviously a price target of $1 million in 90 days is ridiculous. But what we're starting to see here is the Bitcoin community at large really step up the memes and step up the kind of FOMO tactics for this run. So I think this really does help add fuel to the fire. You're seeing people like that tweet about Bitcoin, tweeting about price going up, tweeting about banks failing, about hyperinflation in the US, and it's just going to make a few cogs turn for some rich individuals who are going to start allocating to this market. Meanwhile, we're seeing Bitcoin dominance tick up yet again, now up to around 47%. If we do look past data here, July, then a spike here, October, and again May 2022. Throughout these periods over the last 2 years, Bitcoin has come and tagged this kind of area somewhere in the 47 to 48.5% region for Bitcoin dominance before having a bit of a sell-off there, sell-off there, sell-off there. So if history is to repeat, maybe Bitcoin comes a bit higher this time because it has a very strong narrative, but the sell-off that follows would result in some form of an alt season. This is typically how the flows work in Bitcoin. Arthur Hayes, the permabull, right here, right now. I'm so ready for alt season. The amount of dog shit we're going to be slinging is going to be next level. So Bitcoin has just absorbed a ton of capital into it. And eventually when the distribution phase does come, maybe now 28K, maybe at 30, maybe at 32, who knows, maybe even higher. There is a very strong likelihood because it happens every single time humans are greedy. You start to move your profits from Bitcoin down through the market caps. So will this time be different? Could this just be a Bitcoin only rally and no alt season? I would love to hear your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Moving on to the Arbitrum airdrop coming next Thursday. They announced this just gone Thursday of the actual airdrop itself, and you can check it out for yourself here. But first and foremost, just to show you how cringe this vid is, they put this kind of promo together. I'll just show you the last few seconds here.
Go for Arbitrum airdrop.
Let's build Arbitrum together.
No, that is not Bill Gates. That is Ed Felten, co-founder of Arbitrum there. So I think they're playing very tongue-in-cheek, rather hilarious to watch. I'm sure it is meant to be cringe. And that is part of the charm of Arbitrum, I guess. Did cover this one on a few occasions, talking about airdrops within this video and talking about how you could get an airdrop by just playing on GMX and bridging some funds over. So hopefully some of you have got your hands on an airdrop here. You can check it out over on arbitrum.foundation. So in 4 days time, 21 hours, I'll be able to claim some tokens ranging from just a few hundred all the way up to like 10,000 people have been getting. But if you bridge just a small amount, so I personally bridged a couple $1,000, played on GMX primarily, I got an airdrop of 650 tokens, nothing special, but I do think the RB token and this whole ecosystem is the shining L2 right now. So I think it will actually accrue value over time. And it is definitely a token I will want to own more of on top of the airdrop. So personally, I'd be more likely a buyer than a seller of my airdrop. But what the heck could it be worth? Well, this is one of the better calculations I've seen. Keeps it pretty simple. Initial circulating supply is around 12.75%. That is from the airdrop plus a few other allocations. And this guy just puts together a simple, similar, fully diluted valuation of RB versus Optimism and Matic. I know my head's a little bit in the way here, but the price he comes up with is around $1.75 per Arbitrum token. And as you can see from the top right-hand corner, the actual TVL on Arbitrum beats that of Matic and Optimism already. So this is why I do think it will be one of the leading L2s. And you can see there's a load of traction on there, some really great dApps on there, and a lot of innovation. So really happy to see what happens with this. And of course, traders will be looking towards that airdrop for a big move in the Arbitrum ecosystem tokens. This is one of the key areas to be trading, I believe, next week, if you're into some short-term stuff, due to the fact there's going to be a huge inflow of money here. Think about it. You just airdrop a load of degens, thousands of bucks worth of Arbitrum tokens. It's obvious that the ecosystem is going to get a real injection of lifeblood coming on Thursday. We've started to see the early signings here of a bit of a markup in price across the board for a load of these alts. I got a few listed down here. They're all in the green. But what you can see as well, GMX all-time high is around 85 bucks. And I do think this will be the injection of liquidity required for that to actually break out. So even if you're just looking from a perspective of trading some things over the next week, on the less risky side, I would suggest something like GMX would be a surefire winner when this airdrop comes out. Not financial advice, but definitely on my radar. We also have the first Binance IDO for quite some time. So introducing the Space ID token sale Binance Launchpad, you need to have a load of BNB in your wallet. So this one is definitely not for everyone, but I'm very much interested in seeing the price action of this one once it does launch. Binance announces the 30th project on the Launchpad Space ID. The token will follow the Launchpad subscription format with the recording of user BNB balances starting from the 17th of March, which is yesterday, lasting for 5 whole days. So the bigger your balance, the more allocation you can get into this. The hard cap is $2.5 million worth of raise. Typically, these are very oversubscribed, and I know this has been a long time since the previous one. So in terms of, do you think you can get some tokens? Probably not, even if you buy a big bag of BNB right now. Going to be very small allocation, but typically these IDOs on Binance do perform really well after, because if you just think about it, millions of users on the platform, they'll be able to market it, and the total float of tokens hitting the market as well is quite low. So around 2.5 cents, if you can get maybe even somewhere under like 5-6 cents when it does launch, I think you're doing pretty well. Obviously, it's a Binance Launchpad. It integrates directly into the ecosystem from day one. So that is why I'm quite bullish on these Launchpads doing well. And what we've seen with some of the Launchpads that are trading on Binance right now, they've generally outperformed the wider market. So again, this is probably another trading opportunity. Overview of it here, the Space ID token, as I say, quite a low float. Most of the tokens are stuck vesting for at least 1 month or up to the first quarter. So it's mainly the Launchpad tokens coming into effect straight away, fully unlocked at TG. That will be 100 million of these tokens. Total supply is 2 billion, as you can see by there. And then most of these aren't vesting for quite some time. Just things at TG like marketing budgets, community airdrop as well. So I do think this will also be a good one to trade. It's essentially bringing out a .arb naming service, so just like an ENS, but for Arbitrum and also for BNB as well. So that gives you something to think about in terms of, do you want to go and claim some names? Maybe a .BNB is like one that is a little bit hard to imagine people really flocking to get, but you know, there's obviously value in these kind of whatever it may be names. But the Arbitrum one I think is actually quite interesting. .arb could well be something that many brands will want to use if they want to use a layer 2 environment. So I think again, this could get serious traction, and this is where the token actually plays into it as well. The ID token will be used to purchase those domain names. So again, just another thing on the radar. Then this one is launching as well. Countdown 2 days to go for Bitcoin layer 2 called Mint Layer. So this one caught my attention. I watched a podcast or a kind of AMA between the founder of it and also Charlie Shrem, who is on the advisory team. Charlie Shrem is like the OG of OGs in the crypto space. So him having this kind of backing towards this makes me quite bullish on it. And what we've seen with risk infrastructure and also with stacks is there's a big appetite now for building on Bitcoin. And this of course means potentiality for tokens to do very well. So this is a brand new token coming out called Mint Layer. ML will be the ticker. And what they're trying to do is bring real world assets onto this layer 2 environment that is secured by the Bitcoin network. So very, very interesting in my mind. I have downloaded the Mojito wallet, which if you go onto this website, you'll be able to find it yourself. There's the little icon up here. It's a Bitcoin Lightning enabled wallet, and this will be the path to enter into their ecosystem. They're going to have an incubator, an accelerator program, and grants initiative. And in the AMA I was listening to, they think they're going to be able to raise up to $300 million as an ecosystem incentivization fund. So this one really has caught my attention. Anything building on top of Bitcoin I think is super interesting right now in this current environment. And so this one comes out in a few days time. So we'll bring this to the channel more in the coming week. Make sure you subscribe for that. So signing off here, Bitcoin around 27,500 bucks. Gold is pumping like crazy as well. If we can get a decoupling from TradFi, gold and Bitcoin going together, that will be absolutely epic. I will see you guys in the next few days. And if you're a UFC fan, looking forward to that. Leon Edwards, hopefully KOing Kamaru Usman once again in UFC London. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.